Hi, everybody. I'm a little heavy after lunch. How many of you are heavy after lunch? Wow, quite all of you. So we need to do this together, like get the energies up. Before we start, let's hear about you. So how many of you are actually local here from Bern? Oh, about the same amount of people that feel heavy. Interesting. Do we have some guests from other countries that are not speakers? On the back. Which country? Hungary. Yeah, go Hungary. I'm no longer hungry, sorry. I work mainly with, you can guess by the shirt. How many Angular developers do we have here? Yeah, right. I feel good, like you're my family. Thank you for coming today. A few words about myself. So my name is Uri. I'm a Google developer expert, which means I go to conferences and write blog posts about cool open source technologies on the web that we all like. Other than that, I really love robotics and electronics. You will see some of it in this talk, but let me show you another project I worked on last year. Any Slack users in the audience? Cool. So for those who don't know, Slack is just a chat platform that is being used by many companies and teams just to communicate, like IRC. Anybody used IRC? Yeah, okay. So you have the experience. And I decided to connect my T-shirt to Slack. So whenever somebody types the name of the color, the T-shirt will display that color. So you can see a GIF with a demo here. Yeah, that's me modeling. That's my previous career. Yeah, so that's on the technological part. And on the fun fact part, so Gerard also already mentioned that I dance salsa and that I play the pan flute I brought from Peru all the way here to Switzerland. Let me play you something real quick and see how many of you recognize it from my previous talks. Thank you. Well, yeah, we need to pump up the energies because there is going to be, you will see in a moment in the agenda, but first of all, let me tell you that I also work part-time for BlackBerry. Yes, they still exist. With that, let's talk about our agenda for the day. So first of all, we are going to talk about the physical web, and you are going to pull your phones out of your pockets, but just in a moment. Then we'll talk about the basics of Bluetooth, just the basics that you need to know in order to communicate with Bluetooth devices. Nothing too complicated, and we got a few charts. I was planning it to be the last talk of the day, so it was going to be not very heavy. But after lunch is also good that it's not very heavy. And then we'll talk about web Bluetooth, which is the main subject of this talk. And finally, the fun part, which is live demos. And it's going to be live demos with hardware. So it's going to fail, I know. So please bear with me when we do them. And I will need some volunteers from the audience when we get to the demo, so prepare to volunteer, all of you. I may choose one just randomly. Does anybody blink here? Later. Let's get started with the physical web. So the physical web is basically not web Bluetooth. It's another technology that is related to web Bluetooth. And it basically allows me to broadcast any website, any URL to anybody in the room. I just started doing it right now as I was speaking to you. And how many of you have Android phones? Perfect. So you will have to wait a few slides. But for those who have iPhones, if you have Chrome installed, just open the notification center, swipe left, go down, click Edit. I don't know how you say edit in German. How do you say it? Edit? Oh, so edit, and then just add Chrome to the widgets. Now, once you have done that, the next step would be just to go back to the notification center. It will say show more next to Chrome. You need to click it, and then, OK, I got it. And then if everything works fine, which hopefully it should, you will be able to get a link with, I'm just checking on my phone if it works, a link with the instructions with the workshop stuff. Let's see if it worked for me. Yeah, I think it should work. Did anybody get it? Yeah, perfect. Now for the Android users. Just enable Bluetooth, enable location, lock your screen, unlock it, and if you are lucky, you will see something similar to that. A notification telling you that a website was found for this location. If you don't get it, that's fine. Come to me later. There are some phones where it's disabled and you need to enable it in the settings. But some of you will get it eventually, all of you. And for those who didn't get a URL broadcast, you can also find it here, bit.ly/w-ble, and it will have all the links about the things that I'm going to mention today. I'll also put it in the end of the presentation if you missed this one. So to sum up, the physical web is simply a technology that allows us to broadcast a URL to everybody in the room. So if we have the agenda of this conference, we can use the physical web to share it with everybody, so you don't have to type it. Think about it like QR codes, but 2017 and not 2012. So yeah, so that was the physical web, and with that, let's dive into Bluetooth. So first of all, when you speak about Bluetooth, there are two kinds of Bluetooth. So there is Bluetooth Classic, which is the older Bluetooth version that you used in your headset that paired with your phones. And there is Bluetooth Low Energy, which is cool, and this is what we are going to talk about today. So it was a part of the Bluetooth 4 specification. So if you have some computer or phone with Bluetooth 4, then it has low energy. If you have older Bluetooth, like before 2012 or 11, then you probably don't have it. Most of you do have it. So remember, it's all about Bluetooth Low Energy today. And what Bluetooth Low Energy is. So first of all, we are JavaScript developers, so we are used that things have multiple names, like JavaScript is also ECMAScript. It used to be JS Harmony for ES6, which is now ES 2015. Did I get it right? Yeah, so we are used to multiple names, and Bluetooth Low Energy also has another name, Bluetooth Smart. And you will notice that all the bullets in this slide will start with the word low. So it has a low energy profile. You will see in a moment what I mean. It has a low bandwidth. The amount of data you can transfer is about 2 or 3 kilobytes per second. So it's not good for audio or video, rather than small like control messages or reading input from sensors, but nothing really too big. It also has low latency, which means the moment I send a command, it's received on the device under like 10 milliseconds. And for the last bullet, you will notice that I lied to you. It actually doesn't start with the word low. If you remember the old Bluetooth devices where you had to like type a PIN code, and it was always like 000 or 1234. So they figured out that sometimes we just want to connect to the device without typing complicated things. So with Bluetooth Low Energy, it's possible, and we'll see it. You have a device, you have your laptop or phone, and they just talk to each other without PIN codes and all of that stuff. Lower energy profile, how low can it go? So you see this small button battery, and can you guess how long a Bluetooth device that broadcasts all the time, like this device I'm using here to broadcast the URL to you? So how long can this battery last? Guesses. Just throw them at me. A day, year, 2 years, a day, month? Oh, thank you for something like more reasonable. So all the answers are correct. If you are like really inefficient, it will last a day. If you are like doing pretty well, a month. And if you are super efficient, it can get up to a year, maybe even more. I heard about devices that can run on a single battery for like 3 or 4 years. Now, imagine you need to use it in a pacemaker. You don't want to replace it every month or day. Yeah, so being like really low energy enables us to use BLE in places where we couldn't do it before. Another thing I wanted to know before we like dive into Bluetooth is GATT. So basically when you see GATT, remember, it means Bluetooth Low Energy. It's just another name, like JavaScript, ECMAScript, Bluetooth Low Energy, GATT. Okay, just remember it. No need to go dive into what it means. And with that, let's speak about services, but not services in Angular, services in Bluetooth. So Bluetooth Low Energy also got this concept of services. And similar to Angular, services have some functionality that they let us use. For example, smartwatch may have a battery level service, which will give you information about how much battery it still has. Another example, if it's like a medical device, it may have a heart rate sensor. So it will have a heart rate service that will let us interact with that sensor. Or another example, environmental sensing. By the way, all of these are standard services. The Bluetooth guys are really good at picking confusing names, as you see. It took me a long time to remember this environmental sensing. And this is another example. So if you got some thermostat or some other device that can measure temperature, it can have an environmental sensing service. And the thing is, if you write an application, you don't care about the specific device. If you just need the environmental sensing, you write code that works with that service, and it works across all the devices. So Bluetooth services is one thing, and the second thing, another word which is overcomplicated, is characteristics. So what characteristics are? These are variables exposed for each of the services. So we had a bunch of services, and then each of those services has some variables. And as you can imagine, they are variables, so we can read from them, write to them, and we can even observe them. Where is Ben Lesh? Yeah, you can get a notification whenever a new value arrives. Like if it's a heart rate monitor, you can get a new value whenever there is a new reading from the sensor. Here is an example, I guess. So let's say we have a light bulb, and it has a service that controls it, and then it can have on and off characteristic, where we can write 1 to turn it on, 0 to turn it off, and another brightness characteristic, and we can write a value, let's say, between 0 and 100 to set the brightness of the bulb. To summarize that, here is the most important slide in this talk. You have a device. It can have one or more services, and each of the services has characteristics. So you basically need to interact with those characteristics to control the device or to get information out of it. And with that, yes, let's think about Web Bluetooth. So Web Bluetooth is basically Bluetooth on the web, and it allows us to control BLE devices directly from a web page without any plugin or native app. And it only works over HTTPS. Most of the new web APIs only work over HTTPS. Do you have any examples of APIs that only work over HTTPS? Yeah, thank you. That was good. Now I know that you have examples, so let me give you a few more. There is service workers, WebRTC, like getting access to the camera and microphone, location, and now only Bluetooth. So you probably want to use HTTPS if you want to use any of the new APIs. In addition, they had a lot of security considerations in mind when they built Web Bluetooth. So you can't just ask, hey, connect to anything around and do crazy stuff. You actually need to get a user approval. And you can even ask the user for approval before the user clicked something. So first of all, the user needs to click something on your page, and then you can invoke the API and connect to one device at a time. And it's promise-based API. I think this morning we heard from Brian how cool promises are. So another API taking advantage of promises, as you will notice soon. And the most important question I always get asked, can I use it? Is it supported? So the good news, yes, sometimes. So it's supported on Chrome, on Android 6 and newer, Chrome OS. Anybody uses Chrome OS? Anybody uses BlackBerry? About the same situation. Mac OS and Linux. And Windows 10 is still not supported. They are working on it. I hope it will be supported by the end of the year. By the way, I'm using Windows, so bummer. And iOS, well, that depends on Apple. But in the meanwhile, there is some custom app that you can download for $2 and use WebLotus through that web. That's a web browser. And finally, there is a GitHub page. You'll find the links later in that bit.ly link that shows you whenever they implement new feature, it tracks the progress. So that's about browser support. To summarize, Chrome on Android and Mac works best. I guess most of you got at least one supported device. And let's speak about the API. So the API is available through navigator.bluetooth. And as I said, you need a user to do something. You can't just ask, hey, I want to connect to devices. That would be creepy. And finally, after when we call the API, we need to be specific. We need to tell the browser, hey, I want to connect to devices which have battery service. I can't just tell the browser, hey, connect to, show the user the list of all devices and let him choose one. I need to tell him which kind of devices I'm looking for. And how do I use the API? This is the second most important slide in this presentation. And it actually connects with the previous slide where we had device, services, characteristics. So that's basically the algorithm we need to do every time we use WebBluetooth. So basically, we just scan for a relevant device, like which relevant devices are around us, maybe heart rate monitors. And then we connect to it. And once we are connected, we ask for the service that we want to interact with, like the heart rate service, or maybe the environmental sensing service. And finally, when we have the service, we ask for the characteristic. So we got the service, and now we get the characteristic, the variable we want to read from or write to. And once we got it, we can read, write, or observe it. So you can notice there is the same hierarchy of device, service, characteristic. And these are the 5 steps that we need to do every time we write WebBluetooth. I will go over it real quick in code because it's a little verbose, and at the end of the day, all of us copy the code from Stack Overflow anyway. No need to remember. So the first step, as I say, I need to scan for the relevant devices. So I call navigator.bluetooth.requestDevice, tell it which services I'm interested in, like the battery service, and then it will show the user a list of all the devices around which has this service, and I will get a promise, and this promise will give me the selected device object. And then when I have the device object, I can connect to it. Now, we had that old friend from before, that GATT. Remember it? Here it comes again. So once we have the device, we need to say device.gatt.connect, which basically means, so GATT means, yeah, Bluetooth Low Energy, right. You are a great audience. So really, no need to laugh. You are. So you go device.gatt.connect, which basically tells the browser, I want to connect to the Bluetooth Low Energy on this device that you found around. And then I get a promise. So this promise will give me access to the services on this device, as we can see here. So I got this GATT thingy, and then I can ask for the primary service that I'm interested in this case, the battery service. So I call this method, and I get a promise, right? I get a promise with a service object, which I can call then service.getCharacteristic and give it the name or number of the characteristic that I'm interested in inside the service that I just got. So I call this method and get a... Right, yeah, great. So I got this characteristic object, and then I can finally do cool stuff. Like I can read from it by calling characteristic.readValue and getting a promise. Yeah, and that's a promise for data view, which gives me access to the individual byte. So Bluetooth doesn't use JSON or something to communicate because that's big, and we have low bandwidth, remember? So we just use bytes, like array of a few bytes, and they can represent whatever. So we have this JavaScript object calls DataView that gives us access to read the bytes. Bless you. And if we wanted to write, we can also create an array of 2 bytes in this example, and write them to the characteristic that we just got. So this is the API in a nutshell. And I'm glad we got here, because this means that we are moving to the... It returns a promise, yeah, you know that already. We are going to do the demos time now. For that, I need to make sure I'm all set. So the first thing we are going to see is a consumer light bulb, one that you can buy for like $10. You will be able to find the links. You will be able to find the links on my the page that I shared with you. I'm going to... So this is the bulb, basically. Yes, I'm going to switch it on. Okay, cool. And as you can guess, because it says so, it's not just a regular bulb. By the way, can everybody see it? Even the guys on the back? Even the guys that did this? Okay, let me quickly get into my Linux virtual machine, because it's not yet supported on Windows, and try to set up a webcam so even the guys on the back could enjoy it. Now, that's really risky. Like, it's a webcam inside a virtual machine. How many of you have tried this in the past? Well, worst case, we get a blue screen of that. Okay, worst case. Okay. So, camera connected successfully. And now, let's tell the virtual machine that we want to use it inside. That's the Logitech. Open the camera thingy. It says cheese, cool. I wonder if it says cheese because we are in Switzerland. Anyway, now we can see the bulb on the screen, and there is this nice application that I wrote using web Bluetooth. It's just like plain web app with no frameworks or libraries, so you can't really debate on the framework that I use here. And all the sources on GitHub. Again, you have the link. And let's have a look what happens when I click connect. Before we'll do it, we'll just have a quick look at the code for connect. So go to this file. Okay, so here we have the connect method. And as you can see, we are basically doing the same thing like we did in the slides. By the way, is the font size okay, or should I make it a little bigger? Okay. So yeah, doesn't matter really anyway, because you are going to copy paste this code when you need it. I did. So basically, we do the same. So first thing, we just call request device with this strange number in the services section, which is basically some kind of magic number that the Chinese manufacturer that created this bulb gave to it. Maybe it has a meaning in Chinese, I don't know. And then once we got the device, once the user chose a device, we call device.get .connect, which basically connects to the Bluetooth Low Energy on that device. And then we ask for the primary service with the same number, the one that we were looking for when we scanned for devices. And then we get the characteristic, another number from Chinese manufacturer. And finally, we do something really horrible. We save the thing that we get into a global variable. Don't do it at home. It's okay for demos, though. And notice that we are going to print out a message on each step of what we do here. So I'm going to run this code. Welcome back to Chrome. I'm going to click Connect, and we will probably see the messages in the console as I do this. Why doesn't it work? Please do find a bulb. Let's try that again. Can my phone find it? Oh, I think I know. I think my phone connected to it automatically. Bad boy. OK, so now we can connect to it. You know what? Let me clear the console. You see a lot of errors here, but I want you to see it working, not the error messages. So I'm going to pair with it. And as you can see here, it says, I found this device, I connected to the GATT server, got a service, got a characteristic, saved it to a global variable, as you can see here. Yeah, we have it here. And all good already. So you can start interacting with this device. Before we start interacting with this device, I want to take a quick look on the event handlers for the RGB buttons, and you can already guess what they do. So we have this nice set color method, and as you can see, there are red, green, and blue methods that are called when I click each of the buttons. And what they basically do, they call set color with the RGB value, and then set color basically creates an array with some magic numbers from the Chinese protocol. The important part is that we have the red, green, and blue values inside it, and then we simply write it to the characteristic. So after we did all the hard work in Connect to get it, it's really easy to work with it. We just write values to it, and it hopefully controls the bulb. So time for the real thing, I guess. Hardware, please don't disappoint me. I prayed this morning to the gods of live demos, so please. Webcam, yeah, thank you. Oh, OK, so now we are all set. Let's see. Oh, I also need to tell it to stay on top. So I think that's the keyboard shortcut for that. Yes, it stayed on top. Thank you for that. OK, so which color are we going to start with? Green? OK, how do you say green in German? Grün. Did I say it right? Like, is it with an umlaut? Grün. I'm learning. OK, so let's start with the green color. As soon as I click the green button, hopefully, we'll get to see the bulb turns through green. Ready? 3, 2, 1, green. It worked, yeah. Thank you, gods of the live demos. And now, after we got it green, how about another color? Yellow, but we don't have yellow here. You're a smart guy. We don't have yellow here, right? But we do have like a set color method, you remember? And we did everything like global. So perhaps we can just call the set color method with the RGB values for yellow, you smart guys. Set color, and yellow would be probably some red, some green, and 0 blue. Ready, set, yellow. OK, I think it stopped working. It's time to go blue. So I will tell you why it stopped working later. There are like, the contacts inside the bulb are not so well at the moment. It went some surgery this weekend. I will tell you more about it in a few moments. But imagine we wanted to be lazy and not come up with color code. So I created a method for us called random color. And since the only color you see now is blue, it will either be blue or not blue. But let's call it and see what happens anyway. So random color simply calls set color with random values. And we are going to call it right now. It's less blue, it's more blue, it's even more blue, it's even less. Yeah, so we'll get back to the bulb demo in a few minutes once I shake it a little and fix it. But for the time being, I would need, okay, I didn't want to do that. I would need a volunteer from the audience for the next demo. But, just a moment, it needs to have Android phone with Android 6 or newer and Chrome installed. Nobody with Android phone and Chrome installed? You, come here. And for the next demo, which I hope will work better, I want to introduce to you a little friend of mine. It's 3D printed robot. Its name is Purple Eye. And as you can probably guess, it uses, okay. I'm not very lucky today, but you see it has a brain with electronics. Yes. It's not my lucky day with the demos, but it's your lucky day because you get to see all the interesting stuff. Yes, stand here, little guy, and okay, face the camera, be nice. And what I want you to do, my friend, did you get a notification with the thing before? Oh, you didn't tell that to me before. So, no, that's okay, that's okay. Go to Chrome, open the settings, and then go down, settings, go to privacy. You can do it, by the way, as well. Go to privacy, go all the way down, and enable physical web. It's enabled. Do you have Bluetooth on?
Yeah, I think it wasn't you.
It just came to the middle of the talk, and now we want to get on the... No, that's okay, that's okay. So, did you get do you have Bluetooth on, location on? Can you turn them on? Well, Bluetooth doesn't work where Bluetooth is disabled. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Okay, so now unlock the screen and, unlock the screen and lock it. Lock it and unlock it. And now open your notifications. You may see the notification from the robot. Oh, yeah, click on it. So can you show it to the audience? Just click on the, oh, cool. Yeah, it just got a notification. It clicked on it. You can't see anything, but I'm going to click on the page in the notification. And now, if you have internet and it works, you will get the page. Okay, so some smart guy from the audience did it before. Who is the guy? You come. You are dismissed. You are faster and quicker. Yeah. So, yeah, can you show your screen to the audience? You have this nice interface where you can control the robot. It's built with web Bluetooth. And as you can see, you told it to dance. Now tell it to do the shimmy. You may need to tell it to rest first. Stop. You need to be more assertive. Maybe the rest button? Yes. And now ask it to do the shimmy. Yeah, so now when it's doing the shimmy, please lock your screen. What happened? He locked his screen, and now the tab in Chrome went into the background. So it's getting less CPU time. So it's sending less commands to the robot. Now we unlocked your screen. Now we can know when you are looking at the phone and when not. Thank you. So now for the final demo. I hope this will work. Can you make it rest? Okay, I want you to take this bulb, hold it in your hands, like show it to the audience, and let's say together the magic word. And if the magic word will work, something magical will happen. Magic word, please work. Does it work? Oh no, panic. No, I've got a workaround for that, of course. Thank you, my magician. Let's see if green works now. Oh, you made it work. You fixed my bulb. Thank you. Wait. I want to take it even further and see if we can get the yellow color. Not yet. Can you shake it a little? Maybe it will help. Like give it a tap, small tap on the back. Well, at least we got green, and now we can call random color to get colors that are just green. Well, you almost fix it. So, time to reveal the magic. So how does it work? I'm going to write a blog post about it, and you will be able to get it in the link that I shared with you. But since what you're seeing here is actually a prototype that I created this weekend, it's not very good enough. Sometimes it works less better. But I actually put a little battery in this bulb, and now it's yellow. Maybe it's time to... Yeah, you can see the contacts are not really good. Oh, white. White is the best color. It's all colors. It means that I got it, and now I can call random color and get really random colors while the robot is dancing. Does it still work? And now... No, don't die. Now I can call it with an interval, like a good JavaScript developer. How many times a second do you want it to run? 4 times a second? That would be 215 milliseconds. So, call random color every 250 milliseconds. Are you ready for that? Disco time. You could have told me about that. Okay, set interval with lowercase v. Are you ready for that? Disco time before it falls off the stage. Yay, everything is working finally. I got an idea. So yes, as I said before, you can find everything on this link. I'm also... yeah, you can just enlighten the way to the audience. Thank you. Yeah, put it back. And make the robot stop moving like that. Tell it to rest. Oh, thank you. Dear Lord. So yeah, and finally, I'm also going to post this on Twitter with the conference hashtag. That's a nice photo, Danny Blue. So you can also find it on Twitter if you want. I just shared the link. Yeah, so what I want you to do now is go and build great stuff with Web Bluetooth. You have all the information that you need in this link. You can get this like bulb for $10, or you can even get an emulator for the bulb that you can run on your Android phone if you have one. So go, build cool things, and ping me on Twitter. Let me know what you did. If you want to see any of these demos, you can catch me around and play with the bulb, the robot, or the other secret demo that I didn't show here. Thank you.